Hi, today we'll be cooking up an Indian feast for two. We're going to be cooking Palak Paneer, spicy cauliflower, some basmati rice for a side, and also some cooling yogurt raita, all in under 1 hour or less. Check out the list of vegetables and supplies and all the herbs and spices you're going to need in the description below. And the time starts now. First thing we're going to do is we're going to bring out our two kadai pans, and we're going to put a nice healthy dollop of ghee in each one. I am a huge fan of ghee. Once we've got the pans on the stove and we've got the ghee in them, we're going to add about a teaspoon each of cumin in each pan. We're going to peel the ginger, I'm going to peel and grate the ginger. And then we're going to add this to the kadai pans. After you've peeled your ginger, fresh ginger, you're going to grate it. Looks like I've got about 3 pieces of ginger here that we're grating. We want to end up with about 2 tablespoons of ginger. Can never have enough ginger. Never have enough ghee. Right, okay, now we have all our ginger here, so take your ginger, grated ginger, divide it in half, so each piece you got about like this, maybe 2 teaspoons. Put it in with the ghee and the cumin seeds. Next, let's chop up our tomato. We're going to use 1 tomato in the sauce here. We just want to have it ready. We're not going to put it in just yet, so let's get it chopped up. I'm just going to chop this into little pieces, little chopped pieces here like this. You can leave the little, whatever that calls, belly button of the tomato, just leave it on. Just kind of chop this up like this. Doesn't have to be real pretty because we're going to put this all through a food blender. So it doesn't have to be that pretty looking. So now that we have this all ready, let's go over here and chop up our cauliflower. So the cauliflower will be ready. This cauliflower, I just picked it up today in the market and it's been washed, and we're just going to be cutting it, again, piece for the cows. We're going to be just cutting it into little bite-sized pieces. Whatever you consider bite-sized, cut it up how you'd like it. Okay, so we've got our tomatoes chopped and our cauliflower chopped, so we're ready to turn on the heat. So let's put the heat on the pan for the Palak Paneer. It's got some, as you remember, it's got a lot of ghee in there, fresh ginger, and some cumin seeds. So we're just gonna stir that around until they start to cook just a little bit. Don't want to burn it. Not too high heat. About medium heat. Seeds start to sizzle. Okay. After the seeds are sizzling a little bit and the ginger's kind of releasing a nice fragrance, let's go ahead and put in the chopped tomatoes. That is stir. Turn down the heat just a little bit, so we don't want to burn it. Keep an eye on it. Let's keep cooking that till the tomatoes get soft. Okay, now we're going to start the cauliflower. Get that started. We've got it all chopped up, it's washed and chopped. And we've got a pan full of ghee, cumin seeds, and fresh ginger. Let's turn that on. Cook that up a little bit. Get that started. Again, you want the cumin seeds to pop a little bit. Make sure you can stir the tomatoes a little bit over here for the Palak Paneer. Make sure they're not burning. Here the sizzle. Seeds and ginger are kind of sizzling and releasing a nice fragrance. And let's go ahead and add our cauliflower, raw cauliflower, clean, chopped cauliflower. Just give that a little stir. Turn the heat down so we don't burn it. To the cauliflower, we're going to add a teaspoonful of turmeric. So about a teaspoon of turmeric and a teaspoon of chili. If you want it a little spicier, add a little more. Mix that well. To the cauliflower, we've added a little bit of turmeric powder and a little bit of chili powder, and now I'm going to add just a little pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt, and then some fresh ground black pepper. A teaspoon of black pepper and a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to add some water. I'm going to add some water just so this doesn't burn, and we're going to just maybe a third of a cup of water. Mix it up. So all the spices are mixed onto each piece of cauliflower. Let's cover that and turn the heat down low. Okay, and let's turn our attention to the tomatoes cooking over here. They're looking good. They're getting soft. Okay, so now that the tomatoes have, we've got the tomatoes so they're nice and soft, we're going to start adding a few more spices to this. We're going to add we're going to add a teaspoon of beautiful turmeric. Then we're going to add some of the spicy element here. This is the chili. I like to use Kashmiri red chili, but this is just a regular red chili. And then I'm going to add a little bit of garam masala, which is a mixture of spices that you can make yourself or you can buy. I'm going to add a teaspoon of that. Garam masala means hot mixture. I'm going to add maybe let's just do like maybe half a teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. And then we're going to add some more of the fresh black pepper, fresh ground black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and grind up a little bit of that. kind of running low on that. I need to get more. It's okay. So a little bit of black pepper. Just pour that in there like that. You can add more or less to your taste, however you'd like it. And now we're gonna mix this up, give this a stir, mix this up, let these spices cook about 30 seconds or so, just to take some of the rawness off of them. So you're gonna end up with a nice little kind of a pasty, tomato pasty thing like this. Let that cook till the oil, ghee starts to kind of come out a little bit. It's looking good, smelling lovely. Next, let's add the washed, clean spinach. We're gonna add that in here. Okay, so we've got our spinach in there. Just make sure the heat is low. And let's cover it up. Let that spinach wilt a little bit. Now we're going to just check on our cauliflower to see how that's doing. That's looking good. Let's cut up our paneer, which is an Indian cottage cheese. Of course, the main ingredient in Palak Paneer. Palak means spinach, paneer means paneer. So I like to cut it in half. And then I'm going to cut it lengthwise. I don't like really big chunks. And then cut this lengthwise. Then cut it into kind of a little, so it's squares. And then our final cut is going to be into triangles here. So you're going to end up with pieces like this. So if your cauliflower is running out of water and it's still not done, you might want to add a little more water to it. Okay, now that our spinach has been cooking for about 12 to 15 minutes over low heat and it's all wilted, we're going to remove it from the heat and start our basmati rice. Let's check the cauliflower, and if it looks like it's done, we're going to remove that from the heat too. And this looks done. It's, you know, it depends on how hard you want it, what bite you want to your cauliflower. If you want it really mushy, cook it longer, add a little more water. If not, that looks good. Let's just remove that from the heat. All right, we've got the spinach, spinach is off, it's wilted, it's just sitting there. We've got the cauliflower done, it's just sitting there for a little bit. So let's start our rice. Okay, I've rinsed this basmati rice. This is half a cup of basmati rice, and I've added about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of ghee, and about a teaspoonful of Himalayan salt. So we're gonna just turn the heat on here, and we're gonna stir this till all the moisture is removed. Now we're going to add a cup of water to the half a cup of rice and give this a little stir. Bring it to a boil, turn the heat down and cover it and cook for 11 or 12 minutes. Now we're going to, now that the spinach is cooled just a little bit, I don't like to wait too much. I like to keep things moving along. We've got our spinach and tomato here, spicy tomato. We're gonna pour this into a food blender. Put that into a food blender like that, and we're gonna blend this up to a nice paste, nice smooth sauce. Plain yogurt is called dahi in Hindi, and this is a really nice side dish because it helps to take the heat out of some of the hot dishes. So we're gonna make something called a raita, and all it is just yogurt with a little bit of spice in it, and raita masala. So you're gonna take about a cup of yogurt, plain yogurt, and about maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon of the raita masala. Mix it in. So you have a spicy, cooling yogurt. Okay, after your rice is done, after about 12 minutes on low heat, you wanna take it off and let it sit for a little while till it finishes absorbing all the water in the pan. Let it sit for about, well, until you're ready to eat. Okay, next we're going to finish up the Palak Paneer, the creamy spinach with the Indian cottage cheese. So to the pan, I'm going to add butter, nice dollop of butter. If you want to make it vegan, you can add vegan oil or vegan butter or any kind of oil, cooking oil. Heat this up. Take the chopped paneer, and we're going to add the chopped paneer to the butter and let that cook just a little bit. Cook that up. Stirring, making sure not to let the butter burn. So you're cooking your paneer so it's warm and maybe softened a little bit. Maybe about a minute. Give it about a minute, and then we're going to take the creamed spinach and we're going to pour that on top of the cooking paneer. There you go. And we're going to add some fresh cream, some heavy cream to the paneer, about 2 tablespoons. And the last thing we're going to add to this is something in Indian cooking called kasuri methi, which is dried fenugreek leaves. Dried fenugreek leaves. It's called kasuri methi, and it adds a very distinct flavor. So we're going to add this. We're going to take out like this, just about like that. Kind of crush it in between our fingers and just add that on. Gives a really nice, unique flavor. Give that a stir. We're almost done, and we've got 7 minutes to spare. Okay, remove that from the heat. Last thing I'm going to do is grab a little bit of fresh cilantro over here. Fresh cilantro. We're going to chop this up. We're going to add this to our cauliflower. And there you have your 1, 2, 3, 4 course meal, Indian meal. And what time is it? We have 5 minutes to spare. 55 minutes and you've got a great Ayurvedic Indian meal. There, we did it.
Amazing.
Okay.
Let's dig in.
Let's dig in here.
Looks great.
Some chai here.
Sure.
And I brought out your baba bowl.
Yep, my baba bowl. Yep.
Devin's going to eat from a baba bowl. I'm going to eat from a
jail plate.
Jail plate.
Prison plate.
Yeah, that's what my daughter calls it. I'm wondering how she knew this was a prison plate. Of course, he said, no, they don't have metal in prison.
Oh, well, yeah.
How do they... Is there something about my kids? I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a thali. Okay.
Thali plate.
Thali plate.
So you were talking about, while you were cooking, you were talking about how this is pure veg. And, you know, there's a difference between, obviously, vegetarian and then non-veg. And as we know, most people in Vrindavan here are pure non-veg. So what's the main difference between them?
No, they're pure veg.
They're pure veg. Sorry.
They're pure veg.
Pure veg. So what's the difference between those two?
So in India, or in Vrindavan in particular, in the Vaishnavi community, which means they are followers of Lord Krishna, they don't eat onion and garlic and mushrooms, particularly those, but they do eat a lot of dairy. And the thing is that it's kind of considered, it goes back to Ayurvedic days when onions and garlic were considered rajasic or tamasic, which is not the kind of food that you want to be eating if you're on a spiritual journey. Let's just say it's something that makes you a little hot, a little, it doesn't promote contemplation and enlightenment. So that's why they don't eat it. That's one of the main reasons why they don't eat it. I did actually write an article about that, so you're welcome to go check that out.
I usually mix everything together when I'm eating Indian food, and that's why we call it a baba bowl, because the sadhus here tend to, you know, they're not in it for the sensual tasting, but actually they're just getting it for nutrition, so they just pile everything into one thing, and that's kind of what I do. And I don't do it for very spiritual reasons. I just like it all mashed together because it tastes good to me.
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
It tastes good to you.
So what I think is great about you doing these cooking videos is that whenever if you ever come to India, the first thing you'll notice when you go into somebody's house is that they want to offer you food, you know, and it's just part of Indian culture. They want to treat their guests with respect, and their guest as God is in India. So, you know, but the actual preparing of the food, little do you know, takes all day at times.
Cheers.
Cheers. So in India, the food takes a long time to prepare. It's a social event most of the time. You know how in America they have barbecues where they spend all day cooking, hanging out with family, and talking, and just having a good time with the family. That's part of the culture here, and goes back to ancient traditions where the family is everything in India. And it's very important socially, these kind of things, to have a close family, and India takes this into regard very highly. So these videos are really to kind of, am I right, just to kind of tell you how to prepare a quick meal, Indian style.
Quick Indian food, because Indian food uses the best spices, the best herbs. They're extremely healthy. Almost every dish includes ginger and the turmeric, which are really, you know, those are herbs now that are in the front page news. They're so good.
If you're looking for inexpensive food, if you're in college, this is good. It doesn't break the budget. If you're eating out every day, you know, one, it's unhealthy. Two, you're wasting money when you can have perfectly great meals, home cooked, that are friendly to the body.
Very friendly to the body. This is great.
So thank you so much. It's great, and I liked watching the act of.
Thank you.
Namaste. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Thank you so much for watching today, and you can download the steps, ingredients, and even get a shopping list to get everything you need to make this. Hit that like, subscribe button for more videos. We'll be posting more videos all the time. We try to post 2 to 3 times a week if possible. Next week we'll be cooking coconut paneer. Yum. Thank you guys so much. See you guys soon. Namaste.